my dear friends, how are you? Welcome to the Talentrix channel. Talentrix, we driven to explore talents from students in podcast industry. Do listen our audio visual blogs in Kannada, English and in Hindi. Do subscribe and press the bell button for regular updates. My dear friends, you all know how important agriculture is in our country. Agriculture is the backbone of our country's economy. It is the main traditional occupation of our country. Recently, new technologies has come in our agriculture. Now, our farmers are growing crops following various farming methods. Come on, my dear friends. Today, we listen Types of Agriculture from Vinitsingh Bhatkhande.
Hello everyone, I am Vinitsingh Bhatkhande from K.E.Board English Medium School, Dharwad. Today my topic is type of agriculture in India. The history of agriculture in India dates back to the Neolithic period. India ranks second worldwide in the farm outputs. As per the Indian Economic Survey 2020-2021, agriculture employed more than 50% of the Indian workforce and contributed 20.2% to the country's GDP. In 2016, agriculture and allied sectors like animal husbandry, forestry, and fisheries accounted for 17.5% of the GDP. India ranks first in the world wide with highest net cropped area, followed by US and China. The economic contribution of agriculture to Indians' GDP is settled, declining with the country's broad-based economic growth. Now, let us know how many types of farming are there. There are 5 types of farming, like mixed farming, plantation, substance farming, dry and wetland farming, intensive and extensive farming. Mixed farming. Mixed farming is a type of farming which involves both the growing of crops and the raising of livestock. Such agriculture across Asia and in other countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, Afghanistan, South Africa, China, Central Europe, etc. Plantation. Plantation are farms specializing in cash crops, usually mainly planting a single crop, grow crops including cotton, coffee, tea, cocoa, sugarcane, oil seeds, oil palms, fruit, rubber tree and forest trees. Substance farming. Agriculture occurs when farmers grow crops to meet the need of themselves and their families on small holdings, where the farmers cultivate a field that supports their personal or family's needs. Such a farming method is characterized by labor-intensive practice. Dry land and wetland farming. Dry land farming is prevented in the region having annual rainfall less than 75 centimeter, whereas wetland farming is done in the region or season having excessive of soil moisture requirement. Ragi, bajra are the main crops of dry land farming and rice, sugarcane in wetland farming. Intensive and extensive farming. An agriculture practice known as intensive farming uses a lot of labor and resources compared to the amount of land it occurs. Extensive farming is a farming method that involves cultivating huge farms with comparatively smaller input such as cash and labor. India is the world's largest producer of milk, pulses and jute and ranks as the second largest producer of rice, wheat, sugarcane, groundnuts, vegetable, fruit and cotton. Do you know there are different stages of agriculture like plugging, sowing, adding nutrients, irrigation, protecting plants, harvesting, storage. Plugging or tilling is the process of breaking or losing the soil and turning it over for uprooting weeds and aerating the soil. Sowing is the process of planting seeds into the soil. During this agricultural process, proper precautions should be taken, including the appropriate depth, proper distance maintained, and soil should be clean, healthy, and free from diseases and other pathogens, including fungus. Adding nutrients. Most fertilizers that are commonly used in agricultural contain the three basic plant nutrients: nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Some fertilizers also contain certain micronutrients such as zinc and other metals that are necessary for plant growing. Irrigation. Irrigation is the process of applying water to the crops artificially to fulfill their water requirements. Nutrients may also be provided to the crops through irrigation. The various sources of irrigation are well, pond, lake, canal, tube well, and even dams. Irrigation. Irrigation is usually used in areas where rainfall is irregular or dry times or drought is expected. There are many types of irrigation systems in which water is supplied to the entire field uniformly, protecting plants. Among the crop protection techniques are tillage, crops rotation, organic and synthetic pesticides used, fields maintaining, etc. Introducing affection farming methods requires growers appropriate plant protecting stages and training, avoiding poisonous substance when dealing with pests. Not only protects the environment, it also protects pollinatory natural pests, enemies, beneficial organisms, and the people and animals who depend on plants. Plants are the sources of the oxygen we breathe, the food we eat, and ultimately of all life on earth. Harvesting. Harvesting is the process of gathering the ripe crop from the field. Is the operation of gathering the useful parts or parts of the plant and is carried out at the time when all the nutrients have been developed and the idealized part have reached the appropriate degree of maturity. In general, the harvest takes place in 10 or 15 days after the grain has reached physiologically mature. Storage means the phase of the post-harvesting system during which the products are kept in such a way as the granted food security other than during periods of agriculture production. Is agriculture a good career? Working in agriculture gives people a chance to work outside, which their hands and learn more about the natural world around them. It can also be an excellent way to live more sustainably and assist in environmental conservation. Working in agriculture can also allow you to make a difference in your community. In conclusion, agriculture has given so much to society, but it has its own pros and cons that we cannot overlook. Further, more the government is doing, it's very bad to help in the growth and development of agriculture. Still, it needs to do something for the negative impact of agriculture. Here I end my words. Thank you.
My dear friends, I hope you have learned a lot from today's video and so many more videos on new topics. Please visit our www.talentrix.co.in. Thank you.